All right, we got some people.
It's kind of a little jam. Where's this jam from?
Stream deck. All right, we got some people in here. Please let us know if we're choppy, if our internet is good. Look, this is the Wi-Fi that I got on. So we're going to test it out.
I think we're good on that Wi-Fi.
All right, we should be good. We should be good. Let's look at the comments. Who we got up in here today? What's up? It is Cafecito Time. Marisol, show them your beautiful coffee.
So these are for my podcast listeners, but it changes color. But this turns pink. And we went with this design so that my fellas that are my podcast listeners, when they just want to drink beer because they don't want to look.
You don't want to look weak.
Ooh,
that's loud.
You take it off, and now it becomes a beer cup. So there you go, guys. But it does come what's separate, but the top and a glass.
And it changes colors, right?
It changes color.
Here, let me take that comment off because let me see. Hide comment.
What comment?
Oh, it was covering. Like, put the glass back up. Oh. So depending on the temperature of the liquid, it changes.
It's cold. It turns to pink.
That's right. Man.
If you go on my Her Lounge podcast story, I posted it.
And it's on your website? Is it up yet?
It's not. It drops August 15th, but my patrons get it before.
We are live. We are live. We are live. Joe Rudy Saldivar is ready for Cafecito Time. All my people in the building. What's up, man? Tuning in from Amarillo. We want to make this a podcast, too. So today, we're not recording the audio. We want to make sure that the Wi-Fi is good. But this could become a podcast. Marisol, what is the name of your podcast?
Her Lounge Podcast. Actually, it's Her Lounge. Marisol Herrera Podcast.
Lounge Herrera Podcast. H-E-R-R. I have a podcast too. Right now, Red Pill Tamales is my main podcast. But we want to do a whole bunch more, man. Maybe when Juan comes back into town, maybe we'll start knocking out. We got some new cool tools for the podcast. Did y'all record like that? Y'all did? With the new cameras and everything? Wow.
I looked super dope, but Rob still looked a little.
Is it his lighting? We got to work on his background. We got to remove that TV from there. We got to put a coming tag up on the wall. Y'all know what time it is. All right. So what are we talking about today?
So I actually have a question for you guys that we kind of talked about on my what?
Gay guapo no mames.
So that we kind of talked about on the podcast today, and I'm curious, right? So if you're a parent, all right, and you obviously have children, what are you doing differently than your parents did?
Oh, man. First of all, taking my kids to a whole bunch of activities, like swimming, making sure my kids know how to swim, all right? So I'm learning with them. Activities, that already. Not drinking. Being at home. Being a dad. They want to know your lip color.
It is a Jeffree Star color, and I'll go get it in a second. And tell
you my God. Wow.
A lot of people don't like Jeffree Star, so that's why I said before. Or you want to know, it is a Jeffree Star because he's kind of hated a little bit.
Trigger warning.
Homeschooling. Elizabeth said she's homeschooling.
All right, for sure.
Someone said no whippings.
No whoopings, discussions, and private school. Dang.
So I 100% agree with that. I'm going to tell you a little story. So last year when Penny was 3, we had ballet right? And for some reason, she kind of didn't do well with a new teacher that came in to teach her gymnastics class, and she had a shit attack, right? So she was scared of the teacher because she had big afro. She was wearing obviously a wig. It's a big afro. Her eyelashes. I mean, I wear fake eyelashes, but my eyelashes didn't look like that. I mean, they touched the top of her. I mean, it was the really big ones. And
the snuffleupagus.
Yeah, and she had really long nails. So I don't know what in her little brain that was. I don't know, but
was she wearing a mask?
No, but she was terrified of the teacher, and I was so annoyed and mad because here I felt like, what's going on? Like, what's the big deal? And I popped her in the mouth because she was crying for no reason, and I just didn't feel like there was a reason for her to be crying. And obviously I got the mom guilt, and then I got home, and then I her why that wasn't okay, why I popped her in the mouth, and that, you know, I would like it if she understood when I talked to her, when I asked of her, so that I didn't have to do the spanking. I'm not against whipping either. Whipping them is not, I'm not against it, but I want to avoid a whooping as much as possible before I go to that. And so I try really hard. Right, we're on a star system. So if anybody wants to try this, Penny really wants a Barbie dream house. So we started a star chart, and she's got to get 50 stars in order for her to get this Barbie. So now I've been able to threaten her and say, hey, if you want this Barbie dream, well, it's a star. She's not really getting an item. It's, if you continue to behave this way, I'm going to remove a star. It's almost like if you grew up in our era. Do you guys remember color changing? It was red, yellow, and green in school. Like, so if you were misbehaving, you had to go change your color. Kind of the same way, but I'm with stars. And why we do it this way is like she has to, you know, put a star when she goes to jiu-jitsu, puts a star. It's just her way of understanding she's got to do these things. So, you know,
check this one out. Check out this comment. Yvonne says, telling my kids I love you.
Oh, wow.
Man, that's what's up, because you never know, like say your parents actually show you affection and give you hugs and tell you they love you. You don't know if other kids don't do that. And you don't know how that's going to affect them. You know, that might make them a stone cold-hearted gangster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yvonne, let me find out you a stone cold-hearted gangster up in here. Pauline Montez, thank you for the love. At the right place at the right time. You were in the perfect time right now. Perfect timing, because we're about to do the simultaneous cheers.
I'm almost done with my coffee, but
I already had my coffee. This is like, what does this have in it? Like salt, magnesium. Sepa la madre. Pero me siento bien decaído because of jiu-jitsu. The warm-up alone kicked my butt. Inhale the good stuff. Exhale all the negativity. Let it go. If it doesn't serve you, let it go. I know y'all feeling yourself reprogramming yourself. Your subconscious is working. That right there. That if your day was starting off bad, boom, you just participated in the sip. Here we go. Oh wow, look at this one. V.S. Gonzalez said he's teaching his kids family respect, the Pledge of Allegiance, Constitution, etc. Marlon says God-centric education. I want to talk about the Alex Jones documentary too, after we talk about this. Rebecca's having a monster. Eesh, I don't really do I don't really do energy drinks, but if y'all got an energy drink company and y'all want to sponsor Cafecito Time, holla at me. Oh wow, look at this. My mom learned to apologize, and honestly, it truly created a different perspective with my communication. Pauline, so your mom, she never used to S. Martinez said teach the kids values, morals, and respect.
I think if you are somewhat if you're maybe like a first generation Mexican, or where you come from immigrants, right? I think that they're just going to do what their parents did as well, and you're probably going to have some of the teachings or some of the discipline that they were taught, because that's obviously what they know, and that's what they felt was maybe what you're supposed to do, right? So in their defense, I feel like it's also not their fault, right? Like if some people will say, yeah, my parents were so fucked up, they never said I love you, right? I've heard that a lot. And so I feel like you almost can't blame your parents because they probably didn't hear I love you from their parents. So coming forward now, you have kids. That was one thing that you felt you missed. So you made it a point that when you had your children that you did tell them you love them, or you did tell them they're doing a good job, etc. And I'm not saying every immigrant parent is like that. I'm just saying I think that some of our immigrant parents, that's and so they felt that was the right thing to do, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it could be a generational thing, and maybe sometimes, especially with the sons, right, with the boys, because it's like, ¿por qué le voy a dar un abrazo a este cabrón, mijo? Yeah, they don't want to make you soft. And look at this comment, man. Avi Rivera, thank you for the comment. He said, "LOL. I told my son I love him once randomly, and he started to cry." Wow, that's kind of powerful, man. Give it up for all the good dads out there that show affection. And also, I think, like, with everything, you can overdo it. You know what I'm saying? There's like a fine balance to make them tough, but at the same time, know how to be in tune with their emotions and stuff like that.
Also, were your parents really strict? No, right?
Oh, some things.
Yeah.
On some things. Yeah.
My parents were super duper strict. Like, I think over the top strict. Should I tell them the story?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna tell
you
story
time.
Story time. Ready?
All right, Marisol. Story time. Here we go. Gather around. Right. Gather around.
My mom, literally, guys, did not talk to us about anything because she felt like, I'm mom, your daughter. We don't need to discuss anything.
First of all, for the record, I have no idea what story this is. I was just like, yeah. I was like, yeah, the story. Tell them the story.
I'm about to give y'all like a very personal story, so get ready. And
I don't know. I don't even know which one it is.
And you're gonna laugh, okay?
All right, here we go. Y'all get ready.
So anyway, the reason why I'm so against a lot of this ideology that they're trying to push on our kids about sex ed is because I think that there's a limit, right? And I think that at some point it should be as parents, our responsibility to kind of be able to talk to them at one time in bad camp. Exactly. Mm-hmm. We should be able to kind of communicate and express, kind of explain things. You don't have to get into detail. They don't need to know what your butthole uses because there's a hole in that, guys. Know that it's in your child's public library. You should probably go look in your school district to make sure it's not in their library. But it teaches little boys what they can put in their butthole. And I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid for my child to be able to see that, right? So that's the reason I'm so against this. I'm just going to put it out there.
Listen to her Lounge podcast. She like...
I'm a subject, guys. So I apologize for that. And if you're one of my podcast listeners, that you know that this is a subject that I am totally obsessed with, and I expose all these books because my very good friend Jackie with HDX Kids First is great at doing all this research, and then it gives me an opportunity to do my rabbit hole digging. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm just giving y'all the reason why I think it's important that we as parents still talk to our kids about the birds and the bees, but in our own way or whatever your way is. And it shouldn't be the school's responsibility, because when I came to my mom and told her that I had started my period, you guys ready? If you're drinking something, swallow it because you're about to spit out your drink, guys. I am at Memorial City Mall, walking out of Montgomery Ward. I go to the restroom and I notice there is some brown red stuff on my underwear. And so I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what this is. Era, we didn't have cell phones back then. Mm-hmm. So I go call my mom from a public phone.
Now I know what story this is.
Okay. And I go and I say, hey mom, so there's some brown red stuff in my underwear. I think I started my period. Okay, ready? Drink your liquid before you spit out what I'm about to say. She said, are you sure you didn't shit in your pants?
Lord have mercy.
So
that's what your mama was.
That's what my mom said, because she didn't want to have this discussion with. She didn't, and I mean, I'm talking about, I wasn't that. I was in the 6th grade. I think that could have been a good age for you to say, you know what? I think you might have started your period. So they're sorry, and
everybody's like, what did I just walk in
And there you have it. So that's why I feel like having a semi-good relationship with your child is important. You don't have to be their best friend, but having some kind of open door communication to where this is every time, and I've said this 100 times. I'm not trying to be your friend, but should you be in some trouble, I want to know that you can call me and say, damn, my mom's probably going to get pissed, but I have to call her and let her know I'm in this situation. So let me call her. And that's kind of where I wanted to be, where they feel open, and this is not just with my two girls, but my bonus baby as well. I'm not her mom, but you know what I'm saying? Shit hit the fan. You have to be able to come to your parent for help, and I want to give them that, that open door policy.
Harold Connell with the comment, check the back door, make sure the dog ain't drag mud in.
Exactly.
Lord have mercy. Maybe your mom was just uncomfortable and didn't really want to have.
Exactly. That is exactly what it was. But I'm saying, I think it's her generation. They didn't talk about those things, I was eating. Sorry.
Julio, do not get Marisol started with that subject. How do you guys feel about the whole drags reading to kids BS? Well, first, they took God out of church. They took prayer out of church.
But don't worry. The drag queen to church,
and they got the end at the Catholic church,
Catholic
guys. School in New York, and then a lady who's running for governor, I believe, in Michigan, she said a drag queen in every classroom. So all of a sudden, this super small minority of the population is getting all the press, all the media, all the backup, all the attention, all the sponsorships, all exposure, all the everything, especially when it comes to women's sports, right? Female sports. It's getting real tricky. Somebody left a comment. They said it's almost damn near a South Park episode at this point.
I feel like our entire life right now. Yeah. Life is literally, yes, 100%. Yes. I agree.
Okay. Luis Trujillo Garcia. Check out Marisol's podcast. It is Her Lounge Podcast, HERR. Red Pill Tamales, where we talk about the economy and politics and all that. Excuse me, damn. I'm burping that little bit of that little half a tender from Whataburger. So last night we watched the Alex Jones movie.
Well, we kind of didn't finish. We didn't finish it.
I think
we did
finish
it.
Yeah, it ended.
It ended weird. Don't you think?
The problem is we're watching it in parts. You know what I'm saying? We're watching it like in the daytime, and then after the kids went to sleep, trying to watch it at night before bed and all this kind of stuff. And what do y'all think? Have y'all seen it? It's called Alex's War. And I never, like me personally, I never really used to tune in to a lot of his stuff back in the day, because he's been around probably as long as I've been around in show business, right? About a good 20 years. And I never really got into it until I guess kind of more recent, with everything like, with elections and just a lot of stuff you see happening in the world here. Esteban, he said, where'd you watch it? We rented it on Apple TV, Apple Plus, something like that. All right, Harold says why people dislike them. Well, because first they wanted inclusion. Okay, you included. Now you want to recruit.
Well, let me tell you something. Harold makes a very good point. And here's the thing. I heard Blair White on her on an episode that she had. She made a very good point. If these individuals who are trans, right, really are a real man or a real woman, then you wouldn't need the word trans of woman or man. So you wouldn't need to say trans man or trans woman if you were literally that already, because we would just call you a woman or a man. So you see what I'm saying? How they can't even make sense, because you add the word trans for a reason.
Well, we jumping back and forth. Sorry, because
I was answering.
Yeah, no, I know.
Harold.
There's a lot of good comments. Like, for example, Cindy Acosta with the comentario, bring back manly men. Boy, can we? You can't, fellas. You know what I'm saying? We can't be. We got to step it up. All right. I know I'm not Mr. Pinche pinche masculinity of the year, right? But I'm trying. Am I trying, baby? Am I trying? Come on now. I'm trying to be more handy. I got to go hunting soon. We got to put meat in that freezer. But yeah, man.
Tell them.
Society. All right, one second. Let me just finish with Cindy. Society is definitely trying to sissify and vilify masculinity. They're trying to always say it's toxic. It's toxic. It's almost as if they're trying to just like weaken the family unit. You know what I'm saying? They want to like put the man down. They want to divide. Like, you don't need no man. Blah blah blah. All right, which one was it? This one. Joe Martinez says, I don't know. I won the last trivia you did, and y'all never responded to my email.
Yeah. I'm not replying to emails. I'm just going to ship it out to you. There's no need to respond. I have everybody's name on there, everybody who emailed me who won. So things being shipped out Wednesday. Ship out stuff.
Simon Garcia, this is how masculine he is. He said, man, I carry a club and I drag my knuckles around.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm talking about? Stevie Capone said he's ready for Vegas, the annual Tia gathering.
This one's a good one too. Good way to get people to right here.
All right, this one. I'm not a techie, so excuse a dumb question. How do I join and use the Patreon? Is it only on the phones or can I use a computer? Yeah, you can use a computer.
Patreon, Discord, you can both use those on computer. You don't have to have them on your phone.
Yeah, patreon.com/Red Pill. That's how you join the community and get access to like all the premium content, all the episodes. We drop many episodes. Okay, so back to the Alex Jones thing. A lot of people saying they never heard of him. Pauline said she actually likes him. Well, first of all, right about a lot of stuff. You know, it was very entertaining how like it would show the year. It'd be like 2004, 2007. And the stuff he was talking about, for example, he was calling out the Jeffrey Epstein thing. He was like, this is what they're doing. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, bro, you're tripping. You're telling me they got an island and a plane and these people, and there's a list, and they like, Bill Clinton, all these people getting on the plane, and they over there doing all this crazy stuff. And some of it just sounded so extreme. Like, bro, you're telling me that the government, they really trying to spy on everybody. That's what you're telling me. You telling me that they're being tyrannical. They're all about tyranny. And you telling me they're trying to liberties and rights. And then like 10 years later, you start to see, he'll be like, there's gonna be a global pandemic. And it's like, bro, you're telling me they cooking up a virus, big doc? And the rest is history. Marvin said, I like Alex except about. Are you talking about the Sandy Hook thing, Marvin? Because they cover that in the documentary where he like apologized a million times. But the media was like, no, we're going to debank you. We're going to deplatform you and we're going to sue you and so on. Here we go. Giovanni. What's up, Giovanni?
Hey.
Giovanni's a member of both Patreons, the RPT and Her Lounge. He said, don't skip out. $1 a month, get you access to the Discord with lounge access. Oh, that's what it's called, the lounge. Hey, they in the lounge. I like the branding. It's a really supportive group of women and men. Come on now.
It was just women. Giovanni, shout out to Giovanni because he was the first one to come over. He was the first one to come over.
Oh, look at this one. How do you say her name? Asanette?
Asanette. That's my girl.
Asanette. Her Lounge podcast is amazing. I second Giovanni. Join Discords. Let me see.
Asanette is my day one.
Okay. Look at this. Members of the TIA standing back and standing by. Por favor, believe it. But yeah. Anyway, we just wanted to check in real quick, see what y'all are up to. We got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm headed to Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Stand Up Live, Legalized Freedom Tour, pura pinche comedia. We got a lot of shows, a lot of cities. San Jose coming up, Chicago, Brea, Oxnard, Salt Lake City. Some of the cities aren't listed here at the bottom.
Because I think you only go up to...
I hit them with so many, but we have Addison, Texas. We got a lot coming up. We have Las Vegas, which is going to be major key, but for believe it. But you can get all the details on the website, chingobling.com. Sas. Look at this. Chingo, you should interview Alex Jones. That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
He's right up the street in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. Why didn't they release the client list? Like, why aren't the clients that were in her little black book that their name was on the flight logs? You know what I'm saying? They had all this dirt on all these people, and they were doing messed up stuff. Why hasn't that been pursued and prosecuted? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just all got off the hook, like Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me started. Do not look at this. Yep, correct. Irving Mendes. It was all kind of people. They said it was some like actors and entertainers and all that kind of stuff. Here we go. Is that how you spell the name? Mueller? Just throwing it out there. Avi Rivera says Mueller for Harris County Judge.
That's right.
Anybody.
So stay tuned to Her Lounge podcast and Red Pill Tomadas because I'm setting up that interview.
Yeah, hopefully we can have Mueller on our podcast to discuss the November, right? Because first of all, have y'all seen Dora? What's her name? Lena Hidalgo. They are so corrupt. They getting caught up with bribes. They hooking each other up with these multi-million-dollar contracts for the city. Then they shut down the county, right? They shut down bars, restaurants, blah, blah, blah. And then some bars were paying mordida. They were bribing to say, hey, let me open up. Let me be categorized as a restaurant. All that dirt is coming out. And Lena Hidalgo got a lot of nerve.
And so many, you know what really sucks about that whole situation is that I feel like so many people lost businesses, right? Mm-hmm. That might have been like a generational type business where it was like passed down and now you're going to take over. Like in LA, especially, there was a lot of those businesses and they had to shut down due to this, you know what I'm saying? And then there goes like a generation of a business. I don't know.
A lot of businesses, bro. Like, I mean, people lost, they went bankrupt. A lot of businesses, some of y'all business owners, when you're first launching, especially something like a restaurant, I mean, your staffing, they go through a lot of expenses getting up to par, up to code. It's a damn shame. Oh, what?
Yeah, you haven't seen the commercial?
Mattress Mac endorsed Mueller. Mm-hmm. That's major right there. Harold Cano with the big dog, big news. A ver, vamos a ver. Did you see Sylvester Turner almost lost his shit when they asked him who was scared might come back to him? Well, yo, Harold, do you know that Sylvester Turner, the Houston mayor, he had a law for 30 years. It was called Barnes and Turner, if I'm not mistaken. So for 30 years, that guy Barnes was his law firm partner. Well, come to find out, there was a $50 million HCC Houston Community College contract to build some stuff, or I don't know if he was a part of the. It was another big multi-million-dollar contract to build housing or something, but the bid was crappy. It was like they were going to build not a lot of stuff for a lot of money, and see they were going to pocket some of that money. Mm-hmm. Well, when all the shit started hitting the fan, they're like, bro, how you gonna act like you didn't with this if this was your boy for 30 years? And it's like, oh, what a coincidence. So yeah, man, there's a lot of corruption at the local level. Steve says Adam Carlos, that's a good point, which was this one. I heard someone say you know that if Trompitas was on that Epstein list, it would have been released with the quickness.
For sure.
Oh yeah, well look at this one. Joey De La Cruz, boy, you trying to bring out that RPT, big dog. You getting real political on me, big dog. This is supposed to be Cafecito Time. He said, what is up with this administration hiring an army of IRS agents and arming them? They get weapons, bro? They're law enforcement now?
Hey.
What part of the game is that? Hey, taxes about to go up.
The question started with, what are you doing differently than your parents?
Oh, I know, right?
We went into
we
this.
We can shift because we got to wrap anyway, but we can give a nice closeout message for all of the parents out there. We could bring it back full circle. Vamos a ver. Do you want to take it back?
Oh no! This is all good stuff. Everybody's
look at this. All the corruption is coming out. Boy, Harold said arming them. I thought these were supposed to be like pencil pushers, like sit behind a computer and try to audit the middle class. Look at here we go. Giovanni, did y'all mention the IRS expansion? Biden wasn't supposed to come after the class, but this doesn't seem to align with what he promised. Promises broken. Yeah, man. A lot of people.
He's broken a lot of promises. Let's not go too far. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. You about to list them? No, go ahead. List the promises.
First of all, didn't he say that he didn't think marijuana people with marijuana charges shouldn't be sitting in jail for such small minor infractions, right? Wasn't that
he only letting out murderers?
So if we're gonna go with that, right? So then if he thinks that this Brittany girl over there overseas, it's not a big deal, right? Then why is it that you still have people in our jail incarcerated for, minor, what is it, under something? What is it under? Is it under? I don't know what the amount is that they're sitting in jail for, which is a very small amount, but they're sitting in jail for that, right? And they're not murders. They're not anything. They were carrying. I don't know. I don't really know the story of who's in jail for that. But my point of it is like, why are you making a fuss and fighting over there in Russia? But what about fighting a fuss over here?
Well, look, they're going to let some people believe that they're going to wait till midterms come around, and then they're going to bring Brittany home, have a little parade. So all the Bone Studs and Harmony could be happy.
Kamala Harris is such an idiot. She's the one that kept people locked up on for those like small crime. Man. Don't
get my wife started now. But yo, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Here we go. This is a good way to end it. That boy Stevie, he's first of all, they be roasting Stevie in the Discord, man. I'm not even gonna tell him. I'm not even gonna tell him who they say you look like, bro. Marisol, you tell him.
I think if I see the picture, you want to know who I think he looks like?
I'm gonna tell you what they.
I think he looks like John B.
Okay, the new singer. One. That's better. John B. better than Wee Man, because they say he looked like Wee Man.
Who's that?
From Jackass, El Enanito.
No.
Hey man, they done Photoshop my boy.
No.
First of all, I get roasted the most in the Discord. If y'all want to join,
I'm scared of joining y'all's Discord.
It's only $1. But yo, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Some comments. Y'all get ready.
We'll answer a few before.
Well, first of all, hit Steve.
Oh,
he said, "Are we doing shots in Vegas for Marisol's birthday?"
Oh my God, I'm so scared. You're not done shots alone.
I'll sit with y'all. Because first of all,
okay, it's gonna depend on how early our flight is for the next day. How does that sound,
Steve? Do not bring back. Don't make Marisol turn back to the. Don't make Marisol turn back to the old Soli, because old Soli was giving about this much vodka and a drop of cranberry juice.
We finna have it's lit.
She said that vodka better be light pink.
It's gonna be lit for my birthday because I have not turned up in I don't know how many years.
Don't do it. Reconsider.
And it's once in a while. It's good to go back to that. I'm
gonna be like hydrating, sip.
Old school Soli.
Come on now, don't turn her back to the old her. Yo, thank you for tuning in. So many comments. Like I said, man, we are headed to Phoenix, Arizona. That's the next stop. Is that next week? A week and a half?
Next Wednesday. 1 week from what's today?
Don't nobody know. Today's Monday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it's about Wednesday. 9 days away?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
9 days away. Phoenix, Arizona. We're coming. August 17th, San Jose, August 24th, Chirac, Chicago, August 31st. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all's time. Thank you for the comments. Spread the word. We might turn Cafecito Time into a podcast. That way, in case you missed the live, you can go tune in. We just got, we got to do some audio things or whatever.
And look, guys, just so y'all know that we're trying to stay consistent with us coming on here. Cafecito's Time is scheduled every day this week, just so y'all know.
We got to schedule it.
So,
boom, boom, boom.
If you're on here for the first time and you're wondering what time Cafecito Time will be tomorrow for 1 p.m.
All right. So, hey, turn on your notifications. Thank y'all so much. I will holler at y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Se cuidan. Bye. Cafecito Time. Cafecito Time. Nos vemos.